What's up guys, Chaps here, and today I wanted to discuss the replay value in campaign. In the December title update, a new achievement was added that theoretically adds replay value. That being where you go back and you beat the campaign again, but you can't use your Gnasher or your Lancer this time. On Twitter, in response to one of my tweets, Octist asked what further steps I'd like to see from the campaign achievements, and it really got me thinking about what's possible for the future. So, Liam, I responded last week on Twitter, but if you happen to be watching this, here's my more long-winded response. My biggest issue right now is that the achievements that they're adding are seemingly just go play campaign again, but this time with a small tweak. On paper, it might provide some replay value, but in practice, it just feels more tedious and really not worth doing. Gears 4 is pretty limited in what type of achievements they can add for campaign. Really, all they can add right now are things that ask you to make some small changes, but still fall completely within the limitations of the base campaign. What I miss seeing in games are things like the Vidmaster challenges in Halo. For those not familiar, these were some extremely tough achievements that really changed up the way you played things. I still remember just going on for hours and hours playing the Halo 3 Vidmaster challenges with my friends, and even after we beat them, we could go back and do them again because they were just so challenging and so much fun. But alas, like I said, Gears 4 is kinda limited. So what would I propose? Well, I would propose something for the future. I'm not really sure what TC's capable of adding for Gears 4, so let's look at some of the fundamental changes that we could make to improve our experience in future titles. Let's start off by adding in an arcade mode. In its most basic form, this is going to allow for some leaderboards, if they can get the scoring system to work properly, I hope, and it can allow for some time trials. Score-based achievements will force people to play with new styles in order to maximize their points, while the time-based achievements could encourage people to find speedier runs through the campaign missions. But an arcade mode does more than just this. It opens the door to mutators again, which in my opinion are where we can see the greatest gains when it comes to replay value. Mutators have the ability to fundamentally change how we play the game, thus allowing the developers to add replay value to the campaign. There's also the potential to add more mutators post-launch to introduce even newer events and keep the longevity of the game going for years. Gears 3 had plenty of ideas, but really only scratched the surface of what's possible. How about a mutator that doesn't allow you to take cover? Just imagine how much that would change things up. My friend Schwartz brought up an idea of a Master at Arms mutator, where every 5 kills or so your loadout would go through an RNG update, forcing you to adjust your playstyle mid-mission. How about a Beers of War modifier that essentially puts beer goggle filters on your screen? What do you guys think? Do you have any interesting mutator ideas? Let us know down below, or even on Twitter. What do you guys want to see in future installments? My friend Schwartz that I mentioned earlier, he and I beat a majority of Gears 1 using nothing but B button and grenades. We would essentially run around and chainsaw locusts as they came out of E-holes, or we'd close them with grenades, and we'd throw grenades at people. I'd love to see something like this hard-coded into the game. That might be a bit extreme, but I mean, take the no-taking cover example that I mentioned earlier. Sure, TC could implement that as an achievement now. Well, assuming it's possible and assuming they've tested it, but it's not very user-friendly to implement something like that. I'd much rather have it hard-coded in there so that cover's disabled, so you don't accidentally take cover. Arcade mode and mutators would do great deals to increase the potential replay value in the game, but there's even a step further I'd like to see, and that's some challenge modes. By this, I mean when you go into arcade mode and you're selecting your mutators, you can also enable some challenge modes. These could essentially be more complex mutators that either auto-select a bunch of mutators for you, or change up the enemy spawn dynamics. Things like the declassified mission and judgment were pretty cool, I thought, and they really changed things up. The possibilities are endless. I mean, we could see special events where Gearsmas brings along a limited time challenge mode that gives tons of boomer scions that wear Christmas hats and shoot snowballs or something like that. I can't really say for sure because I've never worked in game development, but I feel that providing an option like this would make it much easier for developers to add post-launch features to campaign. So to sum things up, yeah, I'm very happy that they're adding achievements to add replay value to the campaign, but it doesn't seem like it's enough right now. It might be enough for Gears 4 because that's all they're capable of, but there's tons of options of things that they could do in Gears 5 or future installments. Once again, to those of you watching, let us know any mutators you'd like to see. I'm sure the community can come up with some pretty original ideas. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.